we've talked bad about Zion on this pod before. I think me and CJ will try to stop doing that because he's the real deal. He just doesn't play. I think that's what's most frustrating about that for us. But in terms of the player that he's been able to become, and for all, like I was telling you before, in high school, he's kind of the same player. At Duke, he was the same player. In the NBA, he's the same player. He's not the best three-point shooter, not the best mid-range shooter. Obviously, doesn't have the best handle, but he is uber athletic and he plays with his body well. And I think we really got burned by him last night. We don't have he kind of exposed our weakness,
Kind
right?
of expected it not to be as close as a game, but shout out to Reed Shepard and shout out to Cam Whitmore. They both
And
got their
bro,
first
killing.
start of their careers, and we were talking about it before we started, bro. Just the fact that they have those type of players on their bench and they don't even play them because they really don't need to at this point. But obviously they
Right.
injuries and stuff, next man up mentality, and they did great, bro. Reed Shepard had 25, and I think Cam had 27.
Ammon's the one on the Rockets. Like you were saying, bro, Terra Twin Part 2. Just the defensive menace continues to find belief behind Ime Udoka and that coaching staff. Um, they continue to let him do him. I think he had this game against the Celtics like last week or 2 weeks ago, just showcasing his offensive ability. And again, he's coming off the bench, bro. He
Mm-hmm.
could start for pretty much any other team in the NBA, but I think the Rockets just want to develop him a certain way, and he's been able to do a lot this season. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ZD in the house, man. I mean, we're coming at you live on a Wednesday today. I'm with the lovely co-host CJ in the building, obviously, as always. We three-man weave, so welcome back, for our lovely audience that's been watching all season with us. CJ, I know you love the grind, bro. It's coming to an end. How you feeling today? How you feel about the season so far, man?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. We were just chopping it up about it, bro. It's really like about to be the end of the season. There's like 15, 20 games left, so it's crazy, man. It's kind of goes to show, us being consistent. We've been keeping up with it all season, and trying to post weekly for y'all. So hopefully y'all
Yeah.
are enjoying it. And like I said, if, last pod, if y'all have any questions, drop them down there, man, for sure, because we
Sure.
definitely want to incorporate a lot of like the community's questions and kind of see what y'all think about the season. Like how have y'all been enjoying it so far? But no, I'm doing great, bro. My birthday's
Fire.
tomorrow, so the boys got me a little Shea jersey. Shout out to the
Yeah,
boys,
yeah,
love
gotta
y'all,
rep
gotta rep it.
for sure.
But yeah, no, I'm doing
All
great, bro.
love,
How
man.
you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Obviously, in my opinion, like birthdays are really important, so I am very excited for your birthday tomorrow. Obviously, I'm thankful that your boys got you that jersey, but yeah, personally, bro, I'm doing all right, man. I'm just like I always say, man. What do I tell you? I'm above ground. You always got another chance. So here we are, man. Lakers country feeling good. Obviously, Thunder country been feeling good, but we in the building, man, as always. So I appreciate you, taking your time out of your day to give me the platform and show love, man. So
Of
I'm
course,
I'm
bro.
ready to chop it up with you. I think we talking about obviously the Lakers and Thunder. How we'll recap that, talk about the sixth man of the year, and then obviously, bro, we gonna talk about the Mavericks. Kind of like I think we have a good little segment on them, kind of with the Kyrie Irving injury, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I think that's kind of a somber segment, but we got to talk about it for our audience. But bro, let's get right into it, man. Lakers beat the Pelicans last night. I think 136-115, if I have it right in my notes. Just been going crazy, dude. I mean, but I think for our audience, just like over the last month's been very, I would say very long. It's felt like a year, probably for a lot of people. Honestly, I know me and CJ can attest, but especially for like if you're a sports fan, obviously being like a Lakers fan, a true Lakers fan for myself, kind of the entire sports world was shocked by this trade between AD and Luca. Clearly, we've gotten an opportunity to see how it's played out, and thankfully that the Lakers have had it play out in their favor. I think kind of going down the stretch, like you alluded to, kind of the season's winding up. We had a great game last night. I think Luca, once again, man, just being like the Don, being the magician, being able to orchestrate the offense. But I just wanted to shout out Braun, bro, because
Shout out.
take a couple minutes, bro, and just show love to my dog. And obviously, he passed 50K, and I'll get your thoughts on him in a second. But obviously, we could even put up the graphic right there because I know what you're talking about. It was on Twitter, but just seeing what he's been able to do at age 40 and above, right? It's just basically the 27-year-old LeBron James in a completely different NBA, and he's been able to give us pretty much everything he has. Obviously, a Laker legend. Just all the the playoff battles that he's had with the Warriors, right? Go back to the Mavericks. Even before then, right, with the Spurs. Like I know you
Spurs.
remember him
Mm-hmm.
going. They got swept, but he was able to drag a Cavaliers team. That series against the Pistons really
Mm.
put him on the stage, and then he was able to go to the finals and really prove to all of us, even I was a kid, but for our older audience, that he's the real deal. Like 18, 19-year-old kid, and he's really been able to play the last 2 decades and be a contributing factor. So, obviously I do want to take a moment and shout out to LeBron. I think he had another awesome game last night, right? And I was telling you before, bro, the 30 points from him coming off the ball is a dream come true. Um, even thinking about it right now makes me emotional because I know he's probably been waiting a long time, like a long time for somebody like Luca to come in, and not to slight AD, but he just has a completely different playing style than AD does. Shoots a lot more threes, gets other guys involved a lot more. It's kind of just like you were saying last party. Luca can find you wherever you are on the court. But going back to Braun, just having the opportunity to play with somebody like that has given them the cushion to really do his own thing, bro. And it's amazing to see. I think he continues to kind of push the boundary of what people think is possible. And I know for me, bro, it's really near and dear to my heart, and I know for you too, bro. So just wanted to shout him out real quick. But yeah, bro, going into the game, obviously Zion, bro. What can you say? I want to bring up him first because I had it written down in my notes. We've talked bad about Zion on this pod before. Um, I think me and CJ will try to stop doing that because he's the real deal. He just doesn't play. I think that's what's most frustrating about that for us. But in terms of the player that he's been able to become, and for all, like I was telling you before, in high school he's kind of the same player. At Duke he was the same player. In the NBA he's the same player. He's not the best 3-point shooter. Not the best mid-range shooter. Obviously doesn't have the best handle, but he is uber athletic, and he plays with his body well. And I think we really got burned by him last night. We don't have he kind of exposed our weakness, right? I would say, in terms of not having a big to be able to hold him down, going for 37 points and being really just keeping the Pelicans in this game. I think, I wanted to give credit to him as well. He was everywhere last night. And that's just, a testament to Zion and how he's been able to kind of work on his game and improve. But I would just love to see him out there more, man. But yeah, bro, I had that down. Just from the Pelican side, obviously they're not doing too well. I think this is another example of like the Lakers just being the Lakers and getting a good W when it counts. And I was telling CJ again before we started recording, we need all the wins we can get right now. I heard a lot of chatter in the community about, man, Lakers might be the real deal, whatever the case may be. And honestly, as coming from a Laker fan, like I know we're the real deal. We just got to be able to prove it and get the wins to show other people. Obviously we've been gelling really well as a team. I'm gonna run through the box score for you guys so you can kind of see who was hooping. I think Luca had 30 and 15. Before you ask me the question too, bro, I think Bron, Magic, Jerry West.
Yep.
So yeah, those are the other three players in Lakers history to have 30 and 15 before. Obviously before Luca did last night. So I do want to shout him out because that's a pretty special thing. Luca's honestly done that before for the Mavericks, so probably to him it wasn't nothing
Nothing.
special.
Yeah.
But I wanted to shout out Jackson Hayes too. Um, Once again, man, like you guys can talk a lot of shit about him. That's cool. But I think Luka Doncic being on that team, and honestly LeBron James being on that team as well, gives him a better place to be able to be a contributing player. And this is kind of a do or die for him in his career. If you guys don't know, Jackson Hayes actually used to play on the Pelicans. Um, I think, is he from UT?
Yeah.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
Yeah, so UT alum, kind of in the in a big spot in his career because now he's being forced to play. Last night was able to give us 15 points. Clearly being like our main guy at the center position, 10 boards. Like that's what we need from him. I think in the Clippers games, he's playing a little bit weaker, but he was a lot stronger last night. So I did want to shout out Jackson Hayes, obviously, and kind of what he's been able to give us over these last few weeks, man. I think it's been awesome. We blitzed them in the first quarter. We scored 36 points to their 23. So obviously, Pelicans kind of start off cold. We were hitting threes. You know, like you said, Luka was cooking, bro, in that first quarter, really getting us going. I think I was telling you again, he's really settling into who he actually is. And you said it before we recorded. He's dangerous, bro. Like when he's hitting the threes and dancing and having fun and playing with joy, it's like very hard to guard that. And I was telling you, like, you can game plan for it all you want, but he's one of those players that's going to get his regardless. So we kind of blitzed them in the first quarter. Second quarter, they spun back though. Had a good quarter. I think Zion was really working us in the second quarter. They were able to score 36 points, and it kind of goes to show you, you know, you've always said this pretty much all season, but any team can beat any team. You know, if they start getting hot, if they start to get in a rhythm, kind of like the example with the Cavs, you know, they were down 20-ish
So
points in
yeah.
the first quarter. You would think it's over, but as the game goes on and progresses, kind of, I wasn't getting nervous because obviously we were able to score 33 points too. So we were still up by a decent amount, but I think it just goes to show kind of the audience like, hey, like any team can play. You know, you need to take them serious, especially going into the playoffs. We need to be getting as many wins as possible. So second quarter was a little iffy from us in terms of defensively. Third quarter, we strapped them back up again. Zion was killing us too, but they were only able to score 25 points. Wanted to give credit to JJ too in this part. I think schematically he's done an amazing job with the bodies that he has out there to be able to guard certain players. You know, obviously we still have some weaknesses, especially at the big spot, but I think he's been able to do a really good job throwing the bodies where they need to be thrown and making sure guys are actually guarding and engaged and bought in. Because at the end of the day, the defense is what's going to win us a championship if we go to the NBA Finals. Of course, LeBron and Luka offensively are going to be AR, right? Rui, like that's going to be some offensive punch, but we're going to have to guard a special player or special players, right? Because every single other opposing finals team that we're going to go up against in the East is going to have an all-star or two, right? So we just want to make sure that we're bought in and engaged on defense. And I think JJ's been stressing that over the last few weeks. And that's why you guys have seen so many wins is because we've been guarding a lot better. And then we finished out the game strong. I think this is where LeBron kind of closed the door on them. We were able to score 34 points in the fourth quarter, and again, we finished with 136. We were scoring consistently throughout the game. Want to say, I don't have the number off the top of my head, CJ. So I'm going to team stats, bro. We shot 19 to 52 from deep. So again, 37%.
Y'all were getting
Right,
those
right
threes
along.
up, bro. That
Yeah,
that was
bro. We
like
were getting them up.
yeah, and I was like, that's a good thing too, because that's something obviously all season you've been talking about the Lakers. They haven't been able to get even that many threes just attempted.
Up.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that y'all are able to hit it 36.5%, bro, that's good. And it's, with the defense that y'all have
Solid.
been playing. So yeah, no, it's been crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. And again, we won the free throw battle like we always have been all year. You know, I haven't talked about that a lot, but we do get a lot of calls because of the players that we have on the court, and that benefits us. And when we go to the line and knock them down, we score 140 points. So that's kind of my recap of the game. Pelicans, obviously, it's a lost season, but the DeJounte Murray, right? I think Trey Murphy had a decent game too, 6 of 12, had 20 points. But Zion Williamson, bro, just special player. Clearly, I think the Pelicans kind of know that though whenever they watch him in practice. So I think that's why they traded Bi. Kind of like you were saying a couple pods ago, just making that decision was probably tough, but ultimately I think that's what was best for them. But
Mm-hmm.
man, the Lakers been hooping, bro. There's really not much I can say other than I hope this continues. We don't play tonight. I think we play tomorrow night, so no game from us tonight. But you know, I know the Thunder do. I think the Thunder play against the Grizzlies, so
Yes, sir.
they're up next.
Yes, sir. So yeah, kind of piggybacking off of that, the Thunder went against the Rockets on Monday. We won 137 to 128, and man, that was a great game, bro. For everyone that doesn't know, the Rockets actually had three of their players down. So they had Tari Eason, Sengun, and Amen. And which if you've been watching them all season, y'all know Tari Eason and Amen are the what do they call them? The scary Oh, what is it?
Oh, the Terror
Terror
Twins.
Twins. And for
There
everyone
you
that doesn't
go.
know, they've been locking up pretty much. They've been one of the best defensive teams in the league as of late. So obviously them being down, kind of expected it not to be as close as a game. But shout out to Reed Shepard and shout out to Cam Whitmore. They both
There you
got their
go.
first
Killing.
start of their careers. And we were talking about it before we started, bro. Just the fact that they have those type of players on their bench and they don't even play them because they really don't need to at this point. But obviously they
Right.
injuries and stuff, next man up mentality, and they did great, bro. Reed Shepard had 25 and I think Cam had 27. So yeah. So shout out to them. They were balling out and they were really what was keeping them in the game. Shea dropped that 50 bomb. So shout out to Shea. I think that's his fourth 50-point game in the last like 19 games or something like that.
Bro.
So
He's
crazy.
he, like you said, I think what was he on the list, like 30th all time for career? Like,
Yeah.
bro, he
And
keeps killing.
and it's really been from these last couple seasons that's been pushing him up there. But
Oh,
shout
for
out to
sure.
Shea, went crazy. J Dub dropped 24, which shout out to J Dub, the other All Star on the team. I feel like people forget about that. And then Cason Wallace, bro, he's been doing really good for us lately.
Man,
He dropped 14 off the bench and 2 for 5 from three. So and the defense that we'd get from him. But no, yeah, bro, it was really down to the wire. It was really close game. Um, they like I think I've been saying it a lot to be honest. The game will be close or we'll be down in the first half, but that third quarter is where we really our adjustments change and
take
we really
off,
start to
right?
take off. I think that's when Shea has I'm assuming if not the whole quarter, a majority of it. You remember how you were saying I think Luca starts off the whole first
Right,
quarter.
right.
I think Shea is that's when he
It's
starts,
the whole
and
third.
and that's when he cooks, and then
Yeah, I've noticed that.
going into the first quarter, or the fourth quarter, sorry, is when he rests, and then J Dub that gets
It right.
the scattered minutes there or staggered.
Does Shea goes like the entire first quarter too if like it's close, right?
Yeah. Because
Okay, yeah.
there's sometimes the rotation and stuff they'll put. We've been or not experimenting, but we haven't really had Chet in, so that double big lineup has been. It hasn't been as smooth as it is whenever Shea is just on the court by himself and Hart,
Right.
but it's something that defensively, it's a better lineup. So
So
that's
solid, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think the offense doesn't struggle, but it's not as efficient as it usually is. But I think that's kind of where the game starts, and they kind of go from there. Shout out to Coach Mark Dayton. You know what I mean? He always seems to figure it out in that third quarter, and
Oh man.
we only allowed 27 points for them, so that's really when we started to. I think we were. It was a close game the whole time, but towards the end of the third is when we started to push away. And then, like I said, J Dub in those minutes they started coming back. So I think we
Hmm,
brought
hmm.
Shea off of the bench a little bit earlier, and I was like, yeah, like, they need to bring Shea in. Like this game's getting a little too close for my liking. And then he kind of just took over, but because I think he had 26 going into half, and I think going into the fourth, he was already at like 47 or something, or 46. So they were like, man, like, I wonder if they're going to put him in. I think they asked Coach that, and he was like, oh, no, well, no, I believe in my guys. So, and that's when they started going on the run, and they're like, all right, yeah, Shay, come on. Like, you got to get back on the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of got to, obviously give him rest and stuff, but certain games like that, you got to
You gotta
yeah,
win.
you got to get that dub. But no, yeah, all in all, though, it was really impressive game for Houston. Like we said, they have such good young talent on the team, and for me, it's kind of figuring out who's gonna obviously Sengun, but what guard is gonna be the All Star.
Next dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of where obviously seeing Cam Whitmer's performance and even Reed Shepard, those are Reed Shepard was their third pick, fourth pick of this
Bro,
past.
Reed's cold
You know what
too,
I mean?
man.
So they have a lot of options. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in the future. But they're in a good spot. Like we said, they've been good all season. I don't think we were really expecting that from them, honestly. Defensively is probably where they're hanging their hat high on, but they have players that can get to it as well. So it's
Right.
been a joy watching them because like I was telling you, I'm a T Mac fan, brother. He's my favorite player of all time. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've always had a little soft spot for Houston. So but no, yeah, it was a great game, and then Just kind of going into the game today. We're going against the Grizzlies. I think Chet or Isaiah Joe is back, but I think Chet's out, and so is another player. Let me check. Sorry, I just saw it, but uh, Caruso's out, which that's been a
Mm.
thing for. I think I've been talking to you
Yeah,
about
he's
it,
been
bro.
wishy-washy about it,
Wishy
bro.
washy, yeah. Like I don't know if it's I saw the other game, the Rockets game actually. He had like a black eye or something. So I don't know if it's just him going crazy in practice and shit and just overdoing it and just kind of he's one of those players where I feel like he's really gonna help us come playoff time. You know what I mean? Because he's
Yeah.
that type of winning player. I feel
And
like
I thought you were gonna say like he's the type to like play hard as shit in practice
yeah,
too.
yeah, no, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like he's like the type. He's probably diving for balls and shit. So
Yeah, shit. You're like,
yeah,
oh shit.
he's just that type of player, that's exactly what we need come playoff time. So I'm not mad at it because when he is on the court, he's making a difference. Even if he's not dropping 10 points, he's getting those steals and getting those defensive stops for us. I think there was a game probably like a week ago. He got like 3 straight stops for us. I think it's when we went against the Timberwolves the second time or the first time. He got like three in a row stops and like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and like leading fast breaks and stuff. So he's one of those players where like I'm not like obviously I feel like that's the thing that for us we haven't had a whole healthy roster this season and we've still been pretty successful. So just hoping that it can all everyone still when everyone comes back healthy, knowing what role they are on the team to lead to wins, which I feel like it
Yeah,
won't be
yeah.
that big of a problem, but come playoff time, that might be a little bit of issue, but we'll see. Like you said, kind of, you know, just waiting for the playoffs, bro. I'm the same way as you. That's kind of how I've been all season, just because my team has been good, so it's like, damn, I just want to be able to see that translate to some playoff success.
Exactly. Like that's really what I'm looking towards now. I think we're starting to get to that point though where like we're gonna secure a playoff spot. The Lakers are and the Thunder will, so like we'll clinch those spots. It'll take a weight off my back. I'm just waiting for that time and um hopefully both of our teams can keep getting W's. I mean, we're just pumping them out right now. Pause, but like damn, man, like win after win after win. So I'm thankful for it. I think we got a long ways to go until that Larry O'Brien, but
Yep.
we started that journey at the beginning of '82, so
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But man, yeah, bro, I wanted to talk to you, bro, about this Maverick situation. So clearly, like with the Luka trade, obviously they're distraught. That fan base is kind of destroyed right now. I think, especially I hate to, I don't want to do this to him, but like we got to talk about the Kyrie Irving injury. Clearly, the ACL being torn, that's never a good thing to hear. Um, how what's your perspective on how long you think he'll be out? I'll give you my perspective on where I think the Mavericks stand, and then I want to hear yours as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so I think he's going to be out obviously this whole rest of the season, and then maybe even get into he might not start playing until like I don't know, bro. Like medical and shit nowadays, I feel like ACL isn't as
Quick.
crazy as it used to be because I feel like it used to be a year, and like I think I told you I tore my ACL, so like that whole recovery process, bro, is I think it was a year at that point. Shit has probably gone better, so I would at least say like 8 months,
How
maybe.
was that?
Bro, crazy because I was a freshman, bro. So like my hoop
Oh my
dreams and like
goodness.
shit like that, bro. That's why like I try not to like go crazy because I tore my meniscus as well in the same knee. So like I have like bone to bone contact. That's why I try not to go like crazy like that just because you're obviously shifting and
Wow, we
yeah. So but no yeah
yeah.
it sucked, bro, because I wasn't able to walk for really like probably like 3 or like probably like 6 months or like 4 or 5 months, something like that. And then you slowly like when like obviously when you have such a like a injury like that, you're not using your legs, so like you're not able, your muscle and stuff goes away, so you gotta like rehab slowly. And then like it was a lot more like balance stuff for me, just getting my like core, because like That's the thing. Like
No.
you don't think about like all the other
Wow.
muscle groups that you got to work
Yeah.
on since that one isn't as
That
strong as
use. Yeah.
right.
That. Right.
But no, yeah,
Makes a ton of
it's
sense.
tough,
Your hips
bro.
and stuff. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, your
Uh,
back because it's like your lower back and your
yeah.
strength and
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So, but no, it's crazy, bro. Because Kyrie was the hope for that team, and he's been playing so many minutes. His body just gave out on him. But yeah, I think it's gonna be at least I would say at least like 8 months,
I was thinking
nine
like probably like
months.
a year.
Yeah.
He's a little older. I think it'll be around the All-Star break. You'll see him
Mm,
most likely.
yeah.
Uh, but I do want to give my perspective on why that's impactful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, Kyrie Irving is a great player. Yeah, he has been for pretty much his entire career. I think these last few, I told CJ this off camera, but I mean, for that to be the trade, I mean, you got to be happy as a Mavericks fan. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is Brunson, right? Still an All-Star, King of New York, but I think Kyrie Irving's been just as, you know, probably a little bit worse, but just as dazzling at times. I think just as good. So very similar players, similar playing styles. I think that trade ultimately worked out for them. Um, I think Kyrie's been able to be, like you're saying, the hope and like the voice for that locker room and being a leader. And obviously, as that goes and AD being out, like there's gonna be a lot of agony around there. I think them dealing with Luca. Uh, for people that don't know what agony means, it's like sadness. Like they're gonna be not feeling it. But with Luca being traded, bro, for people thinking he was getting a statue, like to have that already kind of formulating in the background, and then to have this, both of your franchise players now that you claim, Nico Harrison was claiming that, oh, our window's 3 or 4 years. Well, that included this year. It included this year. So that's already, we're already down to about 2.5, 3 years to really have that championship window. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see the Mavericks winning a finals, even with Kyrie and AD. I still think they need another scoring piece that can, whenever Kyrie or, even a starter, right? Whenever Kyrie goes to the bench can give you 30, kind of that's what Luka was. That's what J-Dub is trying to become. I think it's important to kind of have those two wings or two guards kind of working together. And the Mavericks don't have that. But I think currently right now their season outlook is, you said the Suns were probably the most bleak on the other podcast, and I think it's just so coincidental and typical that we have this happen to the Mavericks. And I would say they're probably in a worse situation just because not in terms of their future. They still have some assets, but man, like they're gonna be bad for sure in 4 or 5 years. And they traded kind of the house for what they're working with currently, and what they're working with currently isn't even on the court. AD and Kyrie are both hurt. AD should come back this season, but I don't think they're gonna play him because the season is hopeless. So he'll probably get shut down as well. So I think they should try to play for a draft pick, and kind of going forward, you'll probably see them sit out a lot of dudes or give dudes a lot of opportunities, Omer Prosper, Hardy, like all these younger guys, and kind of see what they can get. But moving forward, I don't see how the Mavericks are going to be a contender whatsoever. And honestly, it's only been a month, and hindsight's 2020, right? But this trade was not good for them. I'm just gonna say it like that. I think that when the Lakers found out that Luka was available and only available to the Lakers supposedly, we were ecstatic. We're getting a younger, even if he is hurt or out of shape, like I was telling CJ, he can get back to health. He can get in shape. I think trading Anthony Davis, 31-year-old, who's probably going to be in his prime for the next 4 years for sure. You're going to get a good 4 years out of AD if you had him on the team. But Luka's got 10, probably 8 or 9 more solid years of being a contributing piece on a team. So that trade just never made sense to me. Even if you wanted a defensive menace, you can go find a Dorian Finney or all these players, go try to trade for Dyson Daniels or something. Like, you can go try to find another move that doesn't involve trading away Luka Doncic, and like you keep bringing it up. Oh, it's so crazy seeing him on the Lakers jersey. Well, yeah, it's because Nico Harrison made the call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, you're right. That wasn't supposed to happen. That doesn't make sense. It's not something that I was supportive in the moment. You weren't supportive in the moment. Clearly, it's working out how it works out. And I think Nico Harrison put himself, back up against the wall because he said it. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out in due time. Oh, we only got 3 or 4 years before they bury us. Like shit like that. I'm like, man. Like those are some those are some choice words, bro, for sure, because people are gonna remember that, and Dallas has one of the strongest fan bases in the NBA. So shout out Dallas, obviously, for that. But I just feel for y'all, man, and I'm sorry for chopping it up about it for so long. I know it's somber if you're a Mavericks fan. I don't want to overstep the boundaries of what me and CJ know, but just looking at you guys this season in terms of how it was 9 months ago, like I was telling CJ, don't try to fix something that's not broken. How it was 9 months ago, you guys were in the finals. Luka Doncic was the Western Conference Finals MVP. You know, it was looking up like this, and now and it's Nico Harrison's fault. It's the Adelson's fault. I think Cuban should be more involved in operations. He's not. He's only a minority owner. They don't give him the keys to make strategic decisions within that team. I just hope people are. I hope the people that they're consulting with are genuinely looking out for their best interest. To me, it seems kind of sketch. Um, like something fishy was going on or something. Because some of the decisions that are being made are very questionable. Again, raising the season ticket prices, like all this stuff. I'm like, man, like the Mavericks don't really honestly, they're not operated properly right now. I
Yeah.
think, having this tangent of 8, 9 minutes now, it's like they're just not operating properly from the top down, and I think it starts with the head of operations, but I think it starts with the GM and the owners. And I think Jason Kidd was the only one who seemed shocked that Nico Harrison was doing this trade. And to me, every time I look at him now, he's very kind of ghostly. He doesn't seem like he wants to be coaching the guys that are out there. And granted, there's a lot of injuries, but I think they're going to try to make best of what they have of the rest of the season. I don't think it's going to be anything fruitful. It's not going to lead to a playoff appearance. Probably not going to lead to a finals appearance anytime soon. But kind of, what are your thoughts on the outlook of their season going forward? What do you think they should do? Because I heard they should trade AD. He's only got a year left remaining on his contract after this year. So next year will kind of be the last year. It's like he may not even resign. So there's just a lot of stuff that they got to worry about. So what are your thoughts on the Mavericks right now?
Yeah, dude. It sucks seeing that, bro. Like I was saying earlier, just Kyrie getting injured. That he was their last hope with AD being out for however long he's been, and it sucks because, like you said, they literally were just in the finals last year, not even 9 months ago, and the fact that you're like, we keep bringing it up. The fact that you made that trade, it just is baffles me to this day, and it's something that I feel like I'm probably gonna. It'll forever
Never,
be,
yeah,
yeah. I don't think we'll ever
same.
really understand it, but yeah, no, their season, like you said, with all these injuries, bro, it's kind of lost. It's a lost season, and Nico saying 3 years, like you said, that there's a year gone now, so you have 2 years realistically, and hopefully they can figure it out. I don't know if they will. I doubt it. Like you said, even with them on the court is a great duo. I was praising them whenever it happened. So now obviously I didn't know injuries. It was always something. It was something
Right.
you brought up, but like you're never expecting that to happen. And the fact that it did, it just kind of shows you that maybe you should have kept the
That's
young
the
young guy, yeah,
younger, right?
younger,
Yeah.
regardless of how you felt about him. He led you to a final. So, but yeah, dude, I don't know. Hopefully they can get a good pick this upcoming draft, and they could try to rebuild
Yeah.
through that. But yeah, I don't know. Like you
No.
said, it's not looking good for them, bro. They don't really have much left on this roster now. Max Christie is probably gonna have a great rest of the season, but that can only take you so far, which I doubt it's gonna take
100%.
you to the playoffs Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that's a good kind of icing on the cake for to wrap that conversation up. I think the Mavericks have been at the mercy. Honestly, dude, now that you bring it up, like I'll say this too for people who are Mavericks fans listening. I think you guys have been at the mercy of Luka Doncic for the last 7 years. Um, Whatever that, like CJ was saying, you could say whatever. Maybe you didn't like him, right? Maybe you didn't like the drinking beer and the hookah and kind of the overweight, the issues, right? But at the same time, it's like you got five, six first team All NBA appearances out of him. You got a finals appearance out of him, multiple Western Conference Finals appearances out of him. It's like to make that trade in such dark circumstances and like very, it seemed personal. That's why I bring it up. It just seemed like Nico Harrison had it out for him personally, and that sucks, man, because that's not how you should ever do business. I think it goes a lot bigger than just Luca and Nico, but I think that's a perfect way to kind of wrap that conversation up. Is it just they don't have a ton of hope right now, and I pray for them. It's not even funny. Like I want to see AD out there and Kyrie. I hope that they get that full duo, kind of like the Lakers are getting, and getting to see them healthy and what they can be. But like CJ said, they're gonna have to wait like maybe a calendar year or so, and that's just really unfortunate. So, but kind of moving into a happier note, I think we got to talk about Curry, bro, and the Knicks last night. I think that was a really good game that I had watched. OG Anunoby, dude. I mean, just a hero. He's been. I was gonna tell you this, CJ. He's played pretty much every game this year. Continues to be. I love the Raptors. I think they definitely hit the reset button, and that's cool. Seeing Pascal and OG in different jerseys has been cool for us, but for OG to be on a contending team and actually be like contributing is really cool to see. He had an amazing game yesterday, even though they weren't able to win. Kind of started off slow too, but in the third quarter, bro, is really where that juice picked up. I think Curry and Madison Square Bros 13-1. I had it in
Yeah.
my notes. Like he's killed them every time he's been in that in Mike Breen. Bro, it was cool because that was the only game I was able to watch because it was the earlier one.
Mm.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna just watch. I'm gonna have Curry and watch Madison Square because I feel like he's just like bro. He wants to go off there. Him and Trey kind of have that special ability to do so. In the third quarter, that's really where it picked up. Curry was hitting threes. Brunson was going back and forth. I think Brunson's a menace, bro, with the foul baiting and being able to draw fouls whenever he wants. Want to give credit to Jimmy Butler. I know you kind of you've heard my hot takes on this pod, but I don't like the way he kind of blows up teams and leaves places. But man, can that dude hoop? He's completely unlocked the Warriors offense. I think at this time in the season too, it's really cool to see like how quick, like you said, bro. I think you were saying before, or it might have been while we were doing this, but you brought up how the trades this year have
Mm.
been awesome, and like
Mm-hmm.
they kind of immediately have paid dividends for certain teams, and the Warriors are an example of that. I think Mike Dunleavy kind of addressed the situation and being, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Kuminga, but I don't know. But he addressed the situation with Wiggins and kind of being like, okay, yeah, we have to pay Jimmy Butler, but at the end of the day, we need somebody that can get Curry open, right? Because Curry had 30 last night, and honestly, earlier in the season, me and CJ have been talking about the Warriors a lot. I think they're an important team to talk about, but earlier this season, it seemed like they were really struggling to get Curry open, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was watching last night; he's having wide open threes, dude, having dancing, like doing all this stuff, like so. It was an awesome game. I think that the Knicks were really shell shocked. It seemed. I don't think they were expecting the Warriors to kind of blitz them in that way. I think Quentin Post, Gui Santos, like that, they have some pieces on that team that, man, when those guys hit threes, it's kind of hard to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's ultimately what happened. Is kind of like a quick recap, but I think the Warriors. I wanted to ask you, bro, so you could kind of butt in on the conversation. Do you think the Warriors are a dangerous team to kind of worry about in the West? Because I brought this up earlier to you. I think they could beat the or have a chance to beat the Lakers the way that they play, kind of small ball, run up and down, and shoot a lot of threes. The variance says so. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, yeah, I think they're one of those teams that a lot of the higher seeds don't want to really see in the playoffs because
Right,
of,
right.
obviously Curry, but like just the way they play. Like you said, they're gonna get threes up. They're gonna play, decent defense, but the only thing they really lack is a big man. So if you got a dominant big man, it's a little bit easier to kind of slow down the game come playoff time. But no, yeah, I think they're definitely it's one of those teams where if they match up well with one, they can potentially make it to the second round or even Western Conference Finals depending on their matchups. But yeah, no, they're definitely it's one of those teams that I feel like a lot of people should be worried about, to be honest, especially with Jimmy. And
So,
you know the type of we know the type of player that he can be when come playoff time. So yeah,
for
it's
sure.
crazy. I remember we were talking about it whenever the trade happened, if he was gonna fit, if they were gonna be able to make the right decisions in like
Around him, yeah.
around him, and it seems like they are. You know what I mean? So it's dope being able to see that.
So yeah, I wanted to shout this out too. Like they've been playing a lot better defense. Man, like I think I like to watch the Warriors. I'm not a Warriors fan. We're a California team, right? Like I still try to show love when I can, but dude, like their defensive issues this season have been just as bad as the Lakers have. But I think they're making that turn too. They're trying to turn the page. I think Jimmy Butler gives them another dog, kind of like what Draymond Green was saying. And yeah, bro, you're looking at kind of a new look Warriors team, and when they get hot, bro, they get hot. I think Buddy Hield's been playing a lot better. Just wanted to shout them out, obviously. Show them some love. But bro, I wanted to talk to you about the Suns, man.
Mm.
We brought them up a couple times on this podcast, but did you see what happened last night?
Yeah, I was able to watch that game, and then I think we watched.
Really?
Yeah, we were able to watch, or I was able to watch the Ant and or the Ant KD game when they were like going back at
So
each
you
other.
saw Gillespie, you
Yeah,
saw
hit
that
that
bucket
game.
at
Yeah, bro. I was so
so
on the NBA they have like that was a nationally televised game, so they have like a different view of it. So I had like above the rim view whenever Katie made that pass.
oh
So it was cool, like
wow.
obviously like no commentary and stuff, but I saw him. He went over to like the left side of like where the three's at and swung it. I'm like, oh, he's wide open, and then they hit it. I was like, oh, I was like, what a fucking pass! But like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear like the
That's
commentary and stuff, so it's cool seeing like a different perspective. But yeah, no, I saw that shit, bro. It's crazy.
cool. Wanted to bring them up. I feel like, you know, you're shocked if you see KD on the Heat or you see him probably maybe potentially go back to the Warriors or something like that. Just don't be shocked if you see KD at the Thunder, the Heat, or the Warriors. Those were my three picks.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw, but he kind of had this run in with Budenholzer. I think Budenholzer hasn't been the best for that team. At the beginning of the season they were blazing hot too, and now they've just fallen to the wayside. But yeah, bro, I think they got a quality win against the Clippers. The Clippers have been sliding recently. But it was just funny I brought that up because I know you were like, oh, it's we were both like, oh, that's so bleak, whatever, but they were able to scrape by with a W. I think wanted to shout out KD. I had in my notes, I think he's been playing at an MVP level this year and continues to not be hurt. And that's
Hmm.
just something that at this point it's just his value might be declining because of his age, but man, for him to be post Achilles tear and still, what did he finish with, bro? I don't have the box in front of me. Maybe you could pull it up, but I
34,
think he had
7 and 4.
34. Yeah, 30. So for him to go for damn near 40 and like still be that dude and be playing with for the team that's across his chest, because I know he doesn't want to be there. I think it just speaks to his character and the type of player that he is, but yeah, you guys don't be shocked. You see him in that Warriors jersey, that Thunder jersey, or a Heat jersey. I feel like, or a Wizards jersey.
Yeah, because he's from there, right?
Yeah, and I feel like he would just go there and hoop. Like he would get them boys right. They probably wouldn't win the finals. Like he doesn't need it, but like he would just go there and straight get buckets, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yep.
feel like Kevin Durant. So I kind of forgot to give you those teams on the last pod, so I wanted to spin it back and
Gotcha,
give you
gotcha.
my teams because I didn't give you the teams that I think he's going to this summer. But for our audience, if you guys don't know, like he is gonna get traded,
Yeah.
like for sure,
Yep,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Last team that I had, bro, that I want to talk to you about is the Pacers, though, man.
Mm.
Um, skip over to the East real quick. I think last night, dude, uh, they beat the Rockets too.
Yep.
The Rockets kind of been sliding a little bit. Had another great defensive game. I think Halliburton right now is in the midst of a 78 assist and 7 turnover last 10 games or something insane.
Yeah,
So
that's
what do you
crazy.
think about how they've been playing over the last couple of years and the team they've been able to build before I get into this?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's. I feel like it. We talked about them a couple times earlier in the season, and I
For
kind of
sure.
my thoughts about them was like, they're a great team, and when they're making their shots, really, you know what I mean. I feel like that's the main thing that's probably changing with them, and they're playing a lot better defense too, and
Yeah.
when you have Tyrese hitting his shots, that's when the game really opens up for that whole team because he is that driving force for that offense, and he's been doing great, bro. Like you said, he's had like 70, 80 assists, whatever it is, with like 7 turnovers,
Dude,
ridiculous,
he shot 40% from deep in this game. He had 30 points and I
Yep.
think like over 10 assists. So
Yep, and
just
I think
yeah.
it's just crazy to see, because I feel like we know that they can do that.
I
It's
was gonna tell you, bro. People wanted to hate on the Pacers. I'm gonna be honest. Like, be careful with hating on Tyrese, bro, because I
Mhm.
think like there's a reason he got paid the 300 m's. Um, Definitely when he's on his game, like CJ's saying, one of the most dangerous point guards we have in the NBA. I think the Rockets have been sliding a little bit too, so I think they're catching him on a good day. They caught him at home,
Yeah,
right? Too, I
I think it
think
was
in the
off of
field
a
house.
back to back too.
Yeah, back to back as well. Like tough loss against Thunder going right into the field house. Like obviously I'm not expecting the Rockets to win, so people gotta remember that. But at the end of the day, for them to Pascal Nemhard, I was gonna bring up his name, I have it in my notes. He's been awesome.
Hmm.
I got a chance to watch that game last night a little bit too, and I think he finished with like 16 points as well. Like he been doing his thing, dude, and he's really been kind of the key piece since he came back from injury a couple months back. He's really been able to give them a jolt. They're now 35 and 25 on the season. Um, they're looking pretty solid. I don't think they're going to be able to compete with the Cavs or the Celtics. I think it's just so hard in the East. If you're not the Cavs or the Celtics, it's really hard to just win a playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
you got to be able to beat those dudes. And right now, I don't think the Bucks, the Pacers, or any of the other teams competing in the East are really going to be able to do that. But bro, watching Tyrese Halliburton kind of get his groove back, watching them be able to shoot from deep, and then like you said, guard. I think uh, that's been their biggest issue over the last 2 seasons. Was when I asked that question. I think they've been playing at a super fast pace this year, been a lot slower, but the defense has been a massive issue for them. They really can't guard other teams opposing, other opposing superstars like that. So for them to, only allow 102 points to a Rockets team who's all right offensively, they're not the best. They're kind of middle of the pack, but again, they've been strong this year, bro, in this last month. So I wanted to shout them out too because I know we talked about them a little while ago, but they're still winning games, man. And I don't know what seed they are. Let me go check. I think they're who are they playing right now? Because I feel like if they get, I was gonna say if they get
They're
a good
fifth.
fifth right now. So if they get a good, they got the 4 seed. Who's the 4?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, so that series is gonna be
That would be a banger.
for sure, bro.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a great one because I know you remember from last year when uh Giannis had his career high and they were trying to take the ball and shit.
Yep, I do.
So there's hella bad blood. I think they're not ducking smoke, but the way they've been able to play over this last month's been awesome. I was watching the game and uh you just Benedict Mathurin and TJ McConnell came in and just started hooping, bro. I
Hmm.
forgot which team they were playing. It was a couple weeks ago, but I was like, man, the Pacers just got everybody. Like we talked about Obi Toppin, we talked
Hmm.
about Miles Turner, kind of what he's been able to do on the defensive end. But yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton's really the engine that makes them go. But wanted to show love to the Pacers fans. So
Yeah, yeah, for
yeah,
sure, bro.
yeah, for sure. But are you ready to chop it up, man? About six man of the year because I feel like we owe it to the people,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
let's do it.
So if you guys don't know six man of the year, I'll give you a rundown of the award. Simple, man. First guy off the bench, best guy on the bench. Simple, bro. Best player in the NBA coming off the bench. I think CJ, you might know specifics. I don't know the specific games, but you have to not be a starter basically.
Yeah.
You can only start like an X amount of games to be
Hmm.
considered a non-starter. And those are and we're gonna go through that list. I think we got a pretty cool list. This one, I think it's more straightforward. There's a lot of dark horse candidates, so we'll go through with them. But starting off strong, bro. I think honestly, I want to go from what we have in our outline because I feel like it's important to talk about these five players. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I want to start with Amen Thompson, bro. Amen's been awesome this year. Him being a twin, it's funny because obviously people are gonna get Asar and Amen mixed up. But
Hmm.
for those who don't know, Asar is on the Pistons. Okay, Amen's on the Rockets. It's that simple. Just remember, Asar Pistons, Amen Rockets.
Hmm.
Anyways, Amen's the one on the Rockets. Like you were saying, bro, Terra Twin Part Two. Just the defensive menace continues to find belief behind Ime Udoka and that coaching staff. Um, they continue to let him do him. I think he had this game against the Celtics like last week or 2 weeks ago, just showcasing his offensive ability. And again, he's coming off the bench, bro. He
Hmm.
could start for pretty much any other team in the NBA, but I think the Rockets just want to develop him a certain way, and he's been able to do a lot this season. I think for both of them being second year players, I think both of them have had a non-sophomore slump. Amen and Asar both, but especially Amen. And obviously Asar is leading the way kind of on the Pistons team who's up and coming, who's probably going to end up being in the play-in or the playoffs. But for the Rockets to be a top five seed, bro, like not a lot of people were expecting that. I think the defense is really what's most encapsulating when we talk about Amen and his athletic versatility. The offensive game needs to get a little bit more polished, but I think he's going to make probably second team on defense, bro.
Hmm.
He's going to make it this year, and that's going to be a massive accomplishment for him. And I know, he has been. There's been times where I've watched him just rip the ball away from people, just the way that even against Shea or some of these, I'm just like, wow, Amen is just a defensive freak. So that's
Hmm.
kind of why I think he's on this list. Kind of, what are your thoughts? You think he could get in the top three? I don't think so. I think he needs more of an offensive game. But what are your thoughts on his season so far?
Yeah, dude, it's been great. Honestly, the fact that he is a twin as well, it's like they're pretty much the same exact player. I think Amin just has isn't a better opportunity. I wouldn't even say as of late, just because the Pistons have been doing so well, and Asar is
Oh,
able to
right,
have
right.
those type of moments as well. But Amen has been doing it the whole season, really. He's been getting the triple doubles. He's been getting that game winner against the Celtics. We've seen moments where he could drop 30, get like three steals and two blocks. And it's crazy
Yeah,
because
five stocks or something.
he can honestly, I can probably say he could guard 1 through 4 comfortably, and maybe even like some small ball fives. It's insane his versatility, and that's the thing that I've been most impressed with him, and the fact that whenever he's on the court, it's not gonna be as easy to get those buckets. You know what I mean? Like he's even if there is a
Definitely
player
not.
like a Shea or the superstars in this league, he's still gonna be there the whole time, and that's the type of player as like a teammate you love to play with. Like that, like scrappy.
Right.
But he's also an athletic freak, so you could toss him lobs, and he's cutting back door, he's dunking on people. He's having those
Do you have
moments.
the odds in front of you?
Yeah,
Who's
he
that? Who's fifth?
Amen. Or Westbrook actually. Amen is fourth.
Okay. Who's second? Give
Malik.
me their initials.
Oh,
Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. I just want to make sure we have the list right because I
yeah.
feel like it's changing.
Yeah, yeah. I
So I
feel
want to
like
make sure the audience like it's live. It's live odds, so they'll change it right after a game.
yeah.
That's what's cool about FanDuel. It's kind of as it goes. The six man, like I said, is very
Yeah.
laddery,
Yeah, it'll fluctuate throughout the whole season
right?
because
But I
they're
think you explained his case perfectly.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Cause
no, he's
yeah,
he's been great, bro. Like you said, he's defensively, and then the spots where he can show us what he can do on the offensive side of the ball as well has been incredible.
let's talk about Russ too. I think that's a perfect segue anyway. If they're gonna flop them on FanDuel, but Russ has been awesome. I think Lakers alone, bro. I don't want to hate, but I think the Nuggets are a lot better of a team for Russ in the way that he plays, and for him to give them, honestly, starter minutes kind of right now.
Hmm.
So it's looking kind of bleak. That's why we kind of left him out. It's like he's been starting the last few weeks, I want to say, but
Hmm.
he's been awesome, dude. The cerebral mind, triple. I think him and Jokic, bro, they had that dual triple double. That was really cool to see. Just
Hmm.
for him to still have that MVP Russ in him, and be a contributing factor. And I think he's shooting like 40% from the corner this
Yeah.
year. So that's really cool to see. He's been shooting a lot more threes with confidence. And it's not like he has to be a knockdown shooter, but if he can hit one or two and shoot six of them, like that's fine. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's, the Thunder will take that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think he's been able to expand his game a lot around Jokic. It kind of goes to show you the greatness of Jokic. But Russell Westbrook, bro,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's been
triple
great.
double beast. Just continues to play with energy, diehard energy every single night. And I think he's been a really key piece to the Nuggets' success this season. Like you may not think about it, but Jamal Murray, of course, Jokic, right? But I think Russell Westbrook's right up there with probably one of their. I think Christian Braun. It goes their Nuggets X factor this year. If you're a Nuggets fan, you know because I've been watching. It's Christian Braun and then probably Russell Westbrook. For
Hmm.
you guys being surprised you've gotten from them this year, it's definitely those two players. And so again, Russ is was hated on. Now it's real quiet because he's hooping, and I think he's gonna stay there. That's why I brought it up whenever we talked about it. He doesn't have a reason to leave Denver. I think he's found somebody who he can play for. They love him there, and they also contend. Man, my goodness, they're playing for Larry O'Brien
Hmm.
because they got Yoke on there and Jamal Murray, bro. So, what are your thoughts about his season? Obviously, being Laker and Thunder, right? So ex Thunder as well. Give me your perspective on how he's been able to age so nicely.
Yeah, it's been great to see, bro, because that LA year, or at least with the Lakers, at least it was looking very bleak for him. People were throwing dirt on his name, and I feel like they forgot the type of player
Yeah,
that
that
he
was
was. It sucked to see because he was the Thunder's hope whenever KD left, and the fact that he isn't performing at that level, which I don't expect from him, but he's still contributing to winning basketball for the Nuggets this season has been
yeah,
great,
he's
bro.
been
And I think that was something I think we talked about earlier in the season, like kind of his progression and what he's kind of become for them. It's like when you have a player at Jokic's caliber, he's able to pretty much play freely because Jokic is gonna he doesn't need the ball in his hands as much as someone, or like rely on Russ hitting his jump shot as consistently as he has been this season. But just being able to see him still contributing to winning basketball is great for me to see, especially like I said, those years at the Lakers, man. It was tough
yeah,
for him. So I know that he's it's dope seeing him. He has that joy again. He
yeah,
loves being out there and contributing in whatever way he needs to. But yeah, it's been great, bro.
yeah, bro. And I think, like you said, the most important thing for him is the joy part. So like when he's playing on a team that doesn't believe in him, the fan base that doesn't believe in him, right? Like he's not gonna feel indebted to that fan base to want to hoop. Averaging 13 points, five assists, six boards, like pretty solid. Who's third on the FanDuel list though, brother?
Third is DeAndre Hunter.
Let's talk about it. What
Yep.
what do you think, man? Because you've been
Yeah.
advocating for this dog, man,
Yeah,
and he's
bro.
been
I was about to
he's been
say.
showing out, bro. I've actually been zip on him. Like I don't know, he's him and Zion. I think going forward, I'm gonna be like kind of.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's I was talking about him earlier in the season, what he was doing for Atlanta, bro. And he's just the fact that the Cavs were able to pick him up has been great for them.
Unfair.
Yeah, and they were
Yeah,
already
unfair.
doing unbelievable, but when you have a player like DeAndre Hunter coming off your bench, bro, it's insane cuz I think he dropped 30 the other night, like maybe like a week or two
Yeah,
ago, and we know what he could do on the defensive side, but dude, he's been knocked down pretty much
yeah.
anywhere in the three, and I think that's the type of player that the Cavs are really needing for them to get to the finals.
Yeah, I think it's like 40% since being a Cav.
Yes, bro. It's crazy.
Like
So
half of his threes. So
he's been
he's
balling up.
he's uh he's gonna get paid. So
Hmm.
good for him, bro. Like I think he's kind of a quiet hooper. That's why I like the way he hoops. He doesn't really talk a lot at all, actually. If you watch him, he just doesn't say a ton of words, but the way he plays, it's very loud. Kind of piggybacking off what you were saying, CJ. He was playing loud in Atlanta, dude. Can start for you if you need. Can come off the bench, be instant offense. Has a knockdown jumper. The thing that surprises me most about him, though, is his defense.
Hmm.
I think for him to be 6'8", 6'9", have the length that he has, pause, but just be a contributing factor on that side of the ball for a team that's already locked down in terms of defense, I think bro. I think it's put the Cavs again in the finals conversation. We've already discussed that at length, but DeAndre Hunter is somebody who's gonna be around, bro. He's gonna be here to stay. Mad respect to him because I didn't really see where his career could take off a few years ago, but I think he's proved that he's gonna be here for a long time. And I think the way that the Cavs have been able to play over the last few months, I think he's been a contributor to that. Um, I want to bring up Ty Jerome too. I guess we could put him in that same sentence. That's another dark horse candidate I got for six man because Ty Jerome be coming off the bench, instant offense. I'm talking threes, wet, scoring like 16 points. I'm like, bro, Ty Jerome is cold, bro. Like he
Mm-hmm.
may not be. I don't know if he's on that list. Is he on the list for FanDuel? He's probably not.
He is. He is sixth.
Sixth. Okay. Okay. He right there.
Yeah, he's
So
right
the
there.
Cavs have two players, you know. Wanted to shout him out. I guess that's my dark horse candidate. If you guys had to, that's my dark horse candidate. If you had to bet on somebody, it would be Ty Jerome, in my opinion, at like plus 4,000 or something
Yeah,
crazy.
I think
Like,
it's plus. Yeah, six plus
yeah,
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. That wouldn't
Take a
be a.
bite of that apple.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a
Take a bite
bad.
of that Ty Jerome apple.
Yeah, bro. I like that. I like that. Shit,
So,
I was about to say, shit. I'll give my little dark horse then, since you brought yours
okay,
up.
go ahead.
This one's a homer pick, but just kind of what I've been seeing from him this whole season, bro. Aaron Wiggins, bro. Aaron Wiggins saved basketball, honestly. Like he's been killing it, bro. I don't know if anybody has been
Oh,
keeping
bro.
up or watching him play, but he's been pretty much one of our better 3-point shooters for the season. I'm gonna look it up, or I'm gonna show
I
y'all
was
the
gonna
actual
ask you,
stats
bro.
and stuff.
Did he cut his hair last year?
I think
Did
so.
he ever have long hair?
He
I
had
think I
like
thought he had
braids and stuff.
long hair.
He had braids, so like yeah, he did
He
for sure.
chopped it.
Yeah, yeah. So this season he's shooting 40% from three. You know what I mean? On
Yeah,
four four
it's A
four
Wigs,
attempts,
bro.
yeah, and he's been killing, bro. He's averaging 11.4 points per game for us, and he's had moments where I mean he dropped 40 the night that Luka got traded, so that kind of got glossed over. But
He would start on any other team.
so I'm saying he's one of those players that he plays defense. He could rebound. He can pass. He can create his own shot. It's great to see, So I would say he's my dark horse. I think he's plus 1,600. So you know what I mean. That's one of the or 1,500. So that's one of those. Yeah. Like
Right
it's
there.
right there. But yeah, he's been really really surprising for me. Probably one of my favorite. Yeah, probably my favorite role player on our team, to be honest.
Solid, solid. Hey, you know who else is competing for that spot though? Malik Beasley he been hooping, bro.
Dancing and
Like
shit. Yeah.
yeah, dancing, having a blast. I think it just goes back to the joy thing when Malik Beasley is allowed the freedom to shoot threes, be a contributing factor on offense, not have to worry about playing defense really. You get that. You get a Malik Beasley season, franchise record holder for the Pistons and three-pointers made. Um, what else do you need to say, dude? He's gotten them up. He's letting them fly. Didn't have the best showing in the 3-point contest. I was hoping he did because it would have been just funny seeing him get hot because he's one of those players that if he's hot, bro, he'll hit 10, 11 triples, you know? I don't know. I don't have his averages in front of me, but he has been one of the main reasons the Pistons have been very solid this year. I think him and Tobias Harris have been very good for them. You know, Tim Hardaway Jr., I didn't think it would be good for them at the beginning of the year, but it seems like that veteran presence has really helped them.
What
And
they
Malik,
needed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like I was doubting that a lot. I was like, Malik Beasley's garbage. Like, dude,
Yeah,
really not.
he's averaging
Yeah, clearly not.
16.6, shooting
Dude,
42%
and
from
his
three.
group, yeah, like he is all money, all trays, like has unlimited confidence. And I think JB Bickerstaff again, like I seen it at Moody, dude. Like he was like, yeah, just shoot it. He would just go in and be like,
Yeah.
so has ultimate green light. Somebody who's very dangerous can get hot, instant offense. And I think the reason he's second is because of the Pistons season and what they've been able to do. And I think he's like one of the leading scorers off the bench this year too, as well.
hmm
He might be the
He might
leading
be.
scorer.
Yeah,
He
let's
may
say I think he might be the leader more than
Yeah.
likely. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the other one on
Pritchard doesn't.
here, yeah, he averages 14.
Yeah. I think it is Beasley on this list.
Or
So
shit, my fault. I
with
guess DeAndre Hunter, he's averaging 18.
18. Yeah, no. I was gonna say I think there is. It might be Hunter, bro. Like for
Yeah.
sure. I would think Beasley is second, but he's right there.
Hmm.
Um, Probably one of the better scorers out of this group. I think him and DeAndre Hunter are probably one and two. If we
Hmm.
had to pick like a pure scorer, out of the group that we've had so far, it's definitely them. And
Hmm.
I want to show love to Nas Reed. Do we think Nas is gonna get there?
I think he might crack top three, but I don't think he's gonna get it.
Okay, well, Nas won it last year, so me and CJ had to show a little bit of love. But what do you think about Malik Beasley? How he's been hooping?
Yeah, dude, it's been great. I think, kind of going into the season, we didn't think he would hit, like you said, all the players, Tobias and even Tim Hardaway Jr. I didn't think they would contribute much to that team, but they were exactly what they were missing. The like you said, veteran leadership and the fact that they can also get to it as well. Light it up from three, and I feel like that's kind of what they were missing. The Pistons have been drafting a lot of like athletic wings or like
Right.
centers that don't really have that 3 point shot, and the fact that they were able in like the free agency were able to pick up those type of players have been super beneficial for them. I mean,
Really good for
I
them.
think we've been seeing it, and shout out to Malik Beasley because, like you said, when he was playing with the Bucks, I think they expected him to be more of like a defensive player, but he was also shooting like 40% for them from three. So it's like you kind of got to be able to utilize your know
His
your
strength,
his
right?
strengths. Like like he is a decent defender, but that's not what he's really out there for you to be on that court.
Right, to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just a sniper, man. Comes in, is kind of a microwave, and
Hmm.
kind of reminds me a lot. Like, doesn't need a ton of dribbles as well. I think when you look at the stats, like if you did the research on Malik Beasley, I think he takes less than 20 dribbles every game. It's
Mm.
very, very polished stuff. So I love that. But man, you want to talk about this next dude? Because I think he was your from the jump.
He was, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
That boy Peyton Pritchard, man, he's number one. I think, obviously he's not averaging as much points as Malik Beasley and DeAndre Hunter, but I think
Doesn't
just
have to be.
exactly, the he obviously plays for the Celtics for everyone that doesn't know, and I think he's been having a really good season, bro. He's averaging 14 points. He averaged 10 last year, so it's a 4 point jump, and just his efficiency. He's coming off that bench, and he's kind of the whenever the bench unit is in, he's the one leading that
He's the spark
team.
plug.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
the only thing that I see with him a lot is he has his moments where he's like really streaky. So when he's not able to contribute to like the offense, he's kind of he's just out there.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
the biggest guy, so it's hard for him to be able to defend the bigger guards and stuff. But when he's cooking, bro, he's out there. I think like you said, he's been my favorite to win six man of the year. I think just the situation he's been in with the Celtics, obviously winning basketball, and the fact that he is averaging 14 coming off the bench just kind of says his jump and the type of player that he is. So I think
I
that's
love that.
yeah. I was gonna say that was
Yeah.
mine from the get
I
go. I
love.
just kind
Yeah.
of thought he was gonna be
I
the
had
one to
Buddy
be.
Hield. He's not even on the list. So.
Yeah, I think it's just because kind of what he was showing me last year in the playoffs. Kind of going into the season, I think he's gonna be able to make that jump. But
Yeah, he's so to take the finalize this discussion, I think yeah, Peyton Pritchard's been the man. Probably will end up winning. Deserves to win if he does win. I think what he's been able to do for the Celtics, obviously be third best team, probably second best team in the NBA. You got to give it to him. I think, like CJ was saying, the jump from kind of being this timid, come in and only shoot threes player to now he's coming off ball screens. He's shooting contested threes, like you're saying. You know what I mean? He's gotten a green light to the point where I feel the confidence. This dude at Oregon was killing people. He was always kind of heart over height, right?
mm-hmm.
He's one of the shorter players in the NBA, but man, there's a reason he's in the NBA. It's because he'll kill you. So I think him going out there really, being him. I think that's what I've seen the most from Peyton Pritchard this year is like just being him, and he's a great dude. Has a ton of YouTube videos you can watch. You want to learn some hoops. Like he just talks about his work ethic and what he's doing and stuff like that. So I think that's cool too. He's very open, but I love his game, man, and what he's been able to do for the Celtics. I think Joe Mazzulla has been able to implement him very well around KP and fucking Jason Tatum and JB and all these other players. Like it's tough for a player of that size at 6'1", 6 foot to really get the shots that he deserves, but he's been killing all year, bro, and he's making you look good. So
Yeah.
obviously you probably ride with him, but
Yes,
I'm gonna tell
sir.
y'all Ty Jerome. Take a bet on Ty Jerome.
Yeah, yeah,
See
no,
where you end up, man.
yeah, for sure, bro. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Was
For
there?
sure. But man, no. We gotta do that betting segment
Yep.
and then I was gonna ask you like who you got, man, because we haven't done this in a minute, bro. Me and you've been kinda lacking, but we here right now at 7, so we still got a couple games coming up. I know who I'm going to. Obviously I want to see who you got. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's roll.
For sure. So, betting segment of the week. I got Zubac over 29.5 points and rebounds. He's
He's
been
been killing.
killing, bro. He's been killing, bro. So that's why I had to take
I'm
that.
mad.
Yeah. No, for
I
sure.
be
That
mad.
yeah. No, I understand,
Ex
bro.
Laker, like he's
Yep.
so good. Zoo
Yep.
is so good.
Yeah, in that first game he played against y'all, he went crazy.
He's so fucking
Yeah, and the second he kind of fell off, but yeah, going with that one, and then my next one, we talked about them earlier, Dallas Mavericks. I got to go with Giannis over 41.5 points and rebounds. I don't think anybody on that team can stop him. He's probably going to dominate the boards, and he's probably going to drop like 30. So
Yeah, I love those, man. I'm going with Shea Gilly over 33.5. I think this game will be he's kind of been my wishing well this year, but against the Grizzlies, a competitive team, yeah, give me that. I think Shea's going to be in the game. It's not a 12, 13 point spread. Like it should be decently close, and I think that's when Shea does his best work. Um, Even if it is a 13-point spread, he can get you 30.
right.
So I think 33.5 is a little low. I think at 34.5, that would be where I'm out. But
Mm.
I think he can get to 34. I think he gets 35 tonight. If you want to take 35 plus for plus money, you can. But I think the line is minus 120 at 33.5, and then Jokic triple double. I think it's even money.
Going with it?
I'm going with it today. I feel it. I've been over on all of my picks so far without in the season of probably this is Jokic's best statistical season too,
Mm.
guys. I have not hit a single triple double bet. I feel stupid, but I feel like tonight's the night. Tonight's the night where he does it against Domantas Sabonis. Um, they're gonna need him. They're gonna need his offense, his rebounding, his assists, all of that. And I think what he did against the Lakers, that little 12-point triple double, I was so pissed because I was like, of course he gets a triple double.
Yeah.
Like he shot 8 times, but he got a triple double. And I'm just like, dude, like I can't win with this guy, but I'm gonna try to do it tonight. So don't take that one if that's one that you got. I got to do it because I'm angry. Like, I'm going to get my lick back, but that is
Facts.
one that you guys can stay far away from if you guys have been rocking with me because I ain't hit it. But Shay, he's all money, so
Mhm.
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Even money on that one too for the triple double.
Yes, sir. Well, shit, bro. I think that was a great way to end this pod off. Was there anything
Oh,
else that you wanted to let the people know before we head out?
hey,
Mm,
Luca jersey on the way. Shay
facts.
jersey on you right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
CJ's birthday tomorrow, man.
Yes, sir.
All the good stuff. So I'm lit, man. Hopefully you guys can watch some good hoops. I'm about to go chop it up with my girl.
Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, if y'all
Yeah.
liked and enjoyed this episode, 3-Man Weave, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace. 3-Man, 3-Man, 3-Man. Thunder up, baby. Yeah.